so I'll pause that one. Actually, close that playlist. We'll go back to my old one. So time for the review. There you go, Jimmycrackers review. So it's an $8 180 man. It looks like the final table, or the final two tables. I can't even tell. Let me have a look. Yeah, final two tables. Yeah. So we'll review this for him, see if we can find any leaks. Okay, fold that. All in. Ace-9 looks good to me. Bink. Nice run. Alright, 8s. Let's raise that. Good, Jimmy. Alright. Oh, he only has 2,000 chips left. Just go all in. He's short. As long as you don't fold, whatever you do there doesn't really matter. You need 45% if he's calling 90%. Are we talking about... I don't know what we're talking about. When are you going to join a new home game? Probably no more home games today, guys. I'm not going to stream for too much longer. We'll make it for another day. What are you getting for third? I didn't look, but it's like 2 buy-ins plus my knockout. So it's maybe $18 profit or so, around there. $15 buy-in. What's up, Rocky Roll? How you doing? Calling there with the Ace-Jack, very easy. Bad luck to run into Ace-King. Well, it's 1 big blind. 2 big blinds. I think I just call. You know, you're getting 3 to 1. Suited king. I mean, I just call. The king 7. Oh yeah, Jimmy, thanks man. I don't want the whole game. Thanks for sending me only 70 hands. Thanks man. That's good. You know, if you just want me to review your early stage, then just send me the first 70 hands. Whatever you want, you know, whatever you think's weakest. Sending the late stage is going to be better most of the time, because that's where you make most of the money, you make the biggest mistakes. So you need to make sure your late stage is very solid. Yeah, final 2 tables. Alright, let's continue. Fold, fold, kings. It's good. Everyone folds. Okay, fold king 8. Fold that. Raise that. Good. Call. 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 Yep, well played. Bad luck. That's the right play, because he could easily have a worse 10, some kind of draw, like a queen jack would play like that. Maybe he has an ace high, a 3. There's a lot of hands you beat. So you just call, call, call. Made the right line. Unlucky that he happened to have the king there. Okay, final table time. Okay, first thing, when you make the final table, look at all the stacks, look at the blinds. So the big blind has 1 big blind behind. There's this guy has 11, these guys have 40,000, this guy has 10 big blinds, this guy has 23, so he's a big stack at the table. You have 30,000, which is 14. This guy next to you also has 14 big blinds. The small blind has 5. So there's a couple of short stacks over here. There's a couple of guys around your stack who have 10. There's 2 over here who have a bit more. And there's the chip leader over here. So your position's quite good, because all the guys that have you covered, you have position on them, which is good. That's what you want. You want to be pushing into the shorter stacks and not pushing into the chip leaders. So your position on the table is quite good. That was a cool play. Deserves a YouTube video. Yeah, I'll try and highlight it. Old Gabe's fan. That's an old trick, but I think that I could have played it a bit better by not raising so much and just leaving myself a few more big blinds behind. But certainly, it's a profitable play by not going all in and just doing what's called a non-all in, so that you are committed. They know that you're not folding, but just on that very rare occasion that you get two all-ins behind you, you can fold and just try and pray that you make the money, which does happen, just like that, like you saw. I'll try and add it to YouTube. Depends if they mute the VOD or not. Okay, all in. Yeah, like all-in's obviously good, but can you get more value out of a min raise or a smaller raise? I think you can, so I would just use a min raise here rather than shoving all in to get more value out of queens. Like queens is a really good value hand. Fold that, fold that, fold, fold. All in, 10 big blinds, ace jack, just go all in. So there's a big difference between having ace jack and having queens. Right? Queens is a good solid value hand and you want to induce, but ace jack's quite vulnerable on flops. If you don't hit, you know, you could be in trouble. So just shoving the ace jack is much better than min raising. But min raising the queens, I think you can get more value. We'll just fold the jack 4. Fold, fold. Ooh, sixes. Ah. Yeah, this is ugly. This is really ugly. There's a short stack, there's another guy shorter than you, this other guy's shorter. I like the fold. Good disciplined fold. Even though we are short ourselves, not quite good enough against the... When you know you're getting called, right? 100%. You know you're getting called. ADK is 14. Yeah, did I misspeak? You guys know what I mean. If I mess up the big blind calculations, it's just because I'm doing it quickly. Thanks, Cold Coffee, for correcting me if I said that wrong. You know what I mean. All in with kings. Easy. If there was no ICM and it was not the final table, this would be a push. But because it's the final table, there's two guys shorter than you. It's actually quite close. I think I would still push because you're down to 8 big blinds and there's no like clear chip leader. You're 30,000, you get a lot of fold equity. They're not going to want to call you with ace 10 or you know, like a king queen. They're just going to fold those hands when you're pushing under the gun. So I think like in 180 mans you really want to try and push for those top 2, top 3 positions. So I think that even with the ICM with 2 stacks shorter than you, or 3 if you include this guy, king jack offsuit would be a push in my range here. So I would push this one. There's 8,000 chips out there. Figured min raise looks suspect. Well, maybe. It depends, Jimmy, what the table's like. If it's a table and they're all regulars, then okay, just shove, because you're right. A min raise would look really suspicious against all regulars. But if you don't know them, just min raise, because they don't know. They don't know you. Yeah, so if you want to balance, just shove against regulars. If there's no regulars on the table, just min raise, in my opinion. No, just a shove. You're the short stack now. There's some bust outs. 4-5 suited is with what's this? 7 big blinds, 6.5. Definitely a push. You have still fold equity against Roman. It's 30,000 chips almost. He's not going to want to call half of his stack with complete junk. So you have fold equity. Plus EV push with 4-5 suited. Fold, fold, fold. 4.5 big blinds. You're really, really short. I really think this is a call for 4.5 big blinds. Yeah, I think this is a call. You're the shortest one. You're not concerned about laddering up the pay scale because you're the one that's blinding out right now. So you have to assume that most people would shove here any 2 cards, and against any 2 cards, you should have a call with Jack 7 offsuit. Like the only reason, in my opinion, to fold this is if he's a very tight player. Great call. I really like that call. Good job. So whether you push here or fold depends on the guy. It's usually a fold, but you can push if he's very tight. So it just depends on the player. I like the fold as a normal play. Well, this looks even more suspicious than if you before min-raised the queens. Like, this looks really suspicious. You have 9 big blinds and you're min-raising. So I feel like this one I would push, because this to me is really obvious that you have aces. But before, when you had 12 big blinds and you min-raised, well, maybe you could fold some of your hands. But here it's obvious that you're just trapping. So I would just shove this one. Defend, call. I mean, Jack 10 suited, you want to see a flop. You know, you're getting 4 to 1. It does cost you a lot of your stack, but your plan is to just not fold when you hit a pair or a draw. So I think you're going to hit a pair or a draw often enough. Wow, that's a good flop, alright. So you can lead. I just think if you lead, you're not going to fold, and he knows that, so I would still just check to him and hope that he c-bets and then check shove. Looks good. Yep, I think you played it well. Wow, insta green mark for that guy. Not a good play. Alright, so everyone has more than 10 big blinds. You can play a little bit looser. I like playing this hand, whether you limp stab or raise, depends on how aggressive Roman is. If he's an aggressive player, I mean, I might just fold if he's super aggressive, but I think the way that we've seen him play, he seems quite passive, so I would just limp stab. If he's really aggressive, you can fold, but I don't really like it. You can put pressure on him. You don't want to fold too many small blinds. I like the fold with sixes, Jimmy. I like it. No fold equity and short stacks are still around. Yeah, it's a good fold. I would push there with eights, I think. Eights. Okay, we'll fold the fold too. I agree with that. Again, you can limp stab. So because you folded twice in a row in the small blind, next time I hope you don't fold your small blind no matter what. Yep, good. Raise is good. It looks strong because you folded the last two hands. Value bet. I mean, we saw him call with queen high with a gut shot, so I mean, I would... I might even value bet again. It's just hard to play, because if you check and he bets, you can't really check call, because he can have better flush draws, better pairs, he can have a jack. I like block betting here. Betting 10,000, trying to get value from worse draws and worse nines, but if he raises, you can just fold, so I really like the block bet, rather than the check. Well, he checked back, so he really doesn't have a jack here. I'd probably... The block bet... Yeah, it's alright. It's alright. It's the same kind of concept as the turn. You're trying to get value out of worse nines and a 6. So it's okay. Now you're fucked. I just fold. I don't think you win this. I think he was probably just slow playing a flush. But it looks like you won that. So you did induce the bluff. Maybe you had some kind of read on Roman, because yeah, I would not take this line as a standard, but it looks like you got a good read on him. Alright, 4-5, fold that, fold 2-7. Well, I would prefer just going all in here, because I mean, it plays good, but if he reshoves pre-flop, you have to fold, which really sucks, because it's a very profitable push. So I think I would just push this hand and try and win that pot that's 10,000. Because he's not going to call you very much with a short stack on the button. The raise is obviously good as well, it just really depends. I don't like this raise. You're committed against the short stack, so you have to raise call with 5-8 suited. This is just a fold in my opinion. This is a 180 man, $8 buy-in final table. Stanler 29. Okay, we have a pair, so call. We know he's bad, we know he's really loose, so I would also call, because we've seen him do this with queen high, jack high kind of hands. And I would call river because we know that he's very loose, bluffy kind of player. Why are we raising? Is he ever going to fold a better hand? Especially when you make it so small. He's getting 5 to 1. I just don't think he folds much, Jimmy, when he has something. Like, you're already ahead of his bluffs, so just use your 8 as a bluff catcher and just call. Because if he is bluffing, you beat him already. You don't need to turn his hand into a bluff, because I don't think that this player is going to fold anything better. Like, you're trying to get him to fold a better 8 or a 10, maybe, but what? Alright, I'm confused. It's just a value raise? Alright. I mean, this kind of proves my point that if you're trying to get him to fold a 10 or a 9, he's never folding, or sorry, a 10 or an 8, because he called with 2s. So, I don't know what he's doing. He's just clicking buttons. I think he got pretty lucky there that somehow he had 2s and decided to call. I like this reshove. It's a very small all-in for like 4 big blinds. So yeah, ace is good. We run good. Just shove any 2 cards. Good, looks good to me. King is a call. Good. Ace king. Get it all in. Alright, good job. Well played, Jimmy. I agree with pretty much everything you did. Only a few small post-flop mistakes, pre-flop mistakes, but yeah. So the prize for that, what's like $300, $400? Pretty good. Doesn't say, but it's a big score for an $8 buy-in. Good job, Jimmy. I'm going to quickly go to the bathroom, guys, and then I will be back to play some more games.